call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy.
What a bunch of a-holes.
After, the pretty big success of Winter Soldier, I'd say, the MCU was in a weird place.
Yep.
They had just come out with, before Winter Soldier, their movies, weren't that well received. And then they had
Big
Winter
rocky
Soldier.
road.
The Winter Soldier, people were starting to get back into it. And then they had this one chance movie to see if they could set the record straight. And that movie is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Love this movie.
Welcome back to
so
the regular
good.
podcast. What are we at? Episode 10? Episode 10.
Yeah, I think 10.
Week 10.
The Big 10.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh man, like Marvel had like such a rocky road these first two
Hold
movies.
up. It's been 10 weeks.
Yeah.
10
Milestones.
weeks.
10
That's
weeks
pretty
since Iron Man.
crazy.
Almost at the halfway point.
Yep.
Almost there.
Got like
They
a couple
only
months
10
till
movies?
February.
As
10
you
movies,
said,
Yeah.
Stern, they were in like
sounds like a
they had a
lot.
big rocky road up to this movie.
Yeah. Like Iron Man 3 was mixed, Thor was bad.
Yeah, Thor was
And then-
not the
Like, and it's funny because Winter Soldier is so grounded in reality, like this
Mhm.
spy espionage thriller. And then we move into this goofy, wacky
this
movie called
goofy,
Guardians of the
wacky
Galaxy.
space odyssey. Like, this movie is
Star
so
Wars.
weird. Like when you compare
Yeah,
it
it's
to
like-
Winter Soldier, Dark World, Iron Man 3, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Like those movies are so grounded on Earth, and then we move up into space where it's like
Yeah.
it's even better than Earth. The stuff
like
that happens
Thor-
in space is better than Earth.
Thor: The Dark World had the chance to open up the MCU to aliens, Infinity Stones, all this,
They did it so wrong.
but they really failed to bring that. And then this movie, we just went from a spy, espionage, thriller, mystery, to this just like prison escape movie, galaxy
Space
saving.
opera.
Yo, that CGI was crazy.
It was.
Yeah, it was good.
Like,
I like
That was
it.
some good CGI.
You think like all the movies before this, their CGI was sometimes good, sometimes bad. But even if it was
What
good,
was the budget,
there were
dude?
flaws. But this movie is
Honestly,
like,
I don't even know.
how did they put this movie with this well together? Like the CGI is on par with things like Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
Chris
Well, no,
Pratt.
not Endgame. No, you moved a little bit. You put a little bit too much dip on
The
your tip
mocap
now.
goes crazy on Endgame.
That wasn't mocap. What are you talking about? Everything was
On
practical
Endgame.
in these movies. Everything in these movies are practical.
This is an entirely real movie. It's not really fair to even call it a movie. You got to like refer to it as a
Two-
documentary, like a live
Wait,
stream,
no.
pretty much.
Okay, so the second movie was 200 million, but I don't even know the first one. What's the first one?
Yeah,
Movie's
like,
budget.
it takes time to research the budget of this movie. But like,
Jesus
200
Christ.
million.
what?
232.3 million, bro.
It had more than the second one?
Yeah, no, it had. Yeah, I think so.
Jeez, like,
Or wait, that's gross. That's in gross.
yeah, you need to look at the budget.
195. Yeah, it says budget right here. It says 195.9 million.
So it
net.
had a lower budget by like how much?
Yeah.
5 million?
Oh, it was over budget.
It was over budget. Like, dang.
Jesus
This movie had
Christ.
they had to have budget because you cannot have a movie in space without good CG.
Yeah,
And good
They
effects.
did their thing in this movie though.
Like this movie
love it.
had so much pressure on it. Like they probably lost fans with Iron Man 3 and Dark World. And then
Yeah.
when people heard that Winter Soldier was good, people were thinking, all right, maybe this MCU thing's not as bad as I thought. Maybe I should see what's next.
And then Guardians of the Galaxy comes up like, who
Yes, and,
thought of
like,
this? Who in their right
Everyone
mind would
loves the
put out a
Guardians of the
movie like
Galaxy
this?
nowadays.
Yo,
Yeah.
Everyone loves
nobody
the
knew who they were till now, so.
Yeah, nobody knew the characters, man.
Yeah, and the characters like in this movie, like even if you knew them from the comics, like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies like almost completely disregard the comics.
Yeah, Star-Lord is nothing like he is in the comics.
Yes, even
And
like,
it works here because he's just like us. He's a human. with
Yeah.
emotions and feelings and
like
know,
they
all
managed to
that
make
great stuff.
a space movie like feel grounded in reality and make us connect with a human character. And
Yeah.
Thor movies, they failed to do that.
With the human characters in that movie, I don't
Yeah.
relate to them because they're talking to gods and aliens
Yeah,
and
they're
stuff
just
like that.
boring scientists. But Peter Quill, he's such a lovable, like, bad person. And he's not
You
he's
just
like
better
an
like him.
yeah.
He's
I think
very
Chris Pratt
likable.
was a perfect choice. All the characters in this movies were like so good. It just making this space opera movie not feel like distant and far and not confusing.
Yeah. I like Peter Quill. Yeah, so like what I wanted to say while we was watching the movie, I don't think if I said this, but like they used music in a way to convey the character's feelings.
Yeah, like the music is almost its own character.
Yeah. So like say like in the first scene, where's like the song that was playing, I listened to the lyrics. The lyrics are actually what's going through Peter Quill's head at that time while his mother is on her deathbed, basically.
The
Yeah.
best third-party music out of the entire MCU has to go to Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2.
Nah, I don't know about 2.
I don't
2 is
really-
bad. I don't like 2.
It's kind
You
of
don't
hard
like
to
the
fit, but like
third-party music?
Oh wait, no, I like the third party music. I just don't
Yeah,
like
that's
the,
what I'm talking
the
about.
theme. Yeah.
no,
No,
like
I'm not talking about the main. I'm talking about third-party music that is
Yeah, the
using
soundtrack.
using an Earth, like a retro Earth soundtrack in a space movie was such a perfect
works.
choice. Because like if things start getting too out of hand or like too like crazy and weird, you just hear the music and like it's like kind of brings you down to earth, which is kind of
Yeah.
ironic for it being
Because you're in space.
yeah.
But-
They managed to make space feel a lot like Earth in a good way.
Yeah, because it has like the bars and the drunks
Yeah,
and everything like
The
that.
bars
And it
it's
has
like
like
the
these
seedy
horrible people
underbellies.
just like they have humans.
Yeah.
Like humans are sometimes horrible people and they have aliens up in space that are like that.
Yeah, and
They're just like us, just with different facial features or with different things
Yeah.
added to them.
and, like
but-
all these characters of the Guardians, they all bonded in prison for not
Yeah.
being good people. Like the Guardians are not really good people.
No, they're outcasts.
Yeah,
basically.
Peter's a thief. Rocket and Groot are thieves. Gamora is like an assassin. But
Drax is a destroyer, even though he doesn't destroy much in this movie.
yeah, but
It's
like
kinda
they
trash,
managed to
but-
make you feel like sympathetic for these characters. And, it's like also like because of James Gunn directing, the writers, like all these characters bond from being bad.
And like the character art that I really love. Well, nah, I'm just gonna say the character that I really love in this movie is Rocket. Spotlight goes to Rocket. Rocket was just
Bro.
wow.
It's emotional where it needs to be. Like people think this movie wouldn't really have emotion. It'd just be a
Yeah,
funny
because it's a
hee-hee,
comedy.
ha-ha comedy movie, but it has some emotion to it, which is
Yeah,
I really
when it
like
gets
that.
serious, it's serious.
Yeah, and I feel like
Because comedy, it can add to character development, but true emotion is what really defines a character.
Yeah, if they can make if they can make a raccoon cry about a tree dying,
yeah,
and they can make me cry, then that's
and like you could
that's
see
what-
that
that
moment
shows
with
how good
Rocket
that
in the
movie is.
bar, like when he's drunk, and he's like, she called me
He's just-
rodent, he called me
he's just
vermin.
pouring out his feelings.
Yeah,
in that
he's
scene.
breaking
Like,
down, and like it's a like mutant raccoon hybrid thing,
that
but, like,
never
you-
asked to be made.
but it's humanizing, and like all these characters have that moment where like they suffer through something and it humanizes them, and I think this movie like really made it so MCU characters can be funny and serious at the same time.
Yeah,
Like look
quirky
how Thor
and
is
humorous.
in the current state. Like he's been through a lot.
Yeah, but he still,
He can still
has
make
that
you laugh and charm,
comedy in it.
and
But
Ragnarok.
what you guys think of the story? It's a simple story.
yeah,
basically,
it's a very
but
simple story,
I
and
like it. I
it's-
like it.
and it's less
The way
about,
they tell it,
it's less about good guys versus bad guys, and more about these bad characters and just banding together over trauma and loss, and just
Yeah.
seeing if they can become more.
they learn to share pain through each other.
Yes, like
Yeah.
They share their pain through each other.
like these characters are broken down together. They're all thrown in prison, and that forces them to work together.
Yeah.
And then everything with
I
Ronan
mean,
happened.
Drax was already there. Who knows what happened to Drax?
And who knows what Drax did?
Like,
Ugh.
I want to know what he did.
Maybe
Get in
Probably,
we
prison.
should
He
know.
probably murdered somebody.
Well, had to
Oh,
do
well.
more than that.
Marvel will give us the lore behind all the characters. I really want to see a Rocket Raccoon, just a Rocket Raccoon movie, just by his backstory. That would be sick.
But I don't. I feel like all
mean,
these
we get-
characters work together in this story because they're together.
Yeah,
Like they're
'cause
all
this is
one piece of the
something
pie.
because like they all come together in the first 13 minutes or so, like that, like first 13 to 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and throughout the entire movie, they're together because really they're just fighting for themselves. Star-Lord wants to go off and like pay off the orb or something like
Yeah.
that.
Like that's
Gamora wants to get the orb, pay
that's
it
like
off.
Peter,
and-
Rocket, and Groot. They're just in it for the money at the beginning,
Yeah,
and then Drax
and
is there for
Gamora was in it
revenge.
for the money too. Gamora
Yeah.
was in it for the money too because she was gonna get away from Thanos. She was gonna find some place to get away from Thanos, and
Yeah.
Drax was just in it for revenge. So everybody was in it for their own personal
Yeah, their own
gain,
selfish
and
reasons.
that's the way they convey the story.
Yeah, and the
do
story
that.
it naturally progresses because of the
Yeah.
actions of the characters. Like,
We see the characters progress
yes.
through the story. And-
Peter steals the orb, and that leads to Ronan sending Gamora to track him down. And because he sends Gamora, it causes the scuffle on Xandar, which causes all four of them
Yep.
to get arrested.
Yeah, because they were actually there for Star-Lord. I think Groot and Rocket.
Yeah,
was
because
there for
Yondu-
Star-Lord.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
because of what Peter did, Yondu put a bounty on him, causing Rocket and Groot to track him down.
And then they move into the jail, and that's where Drax is. So they
Yeah.
it has a reason why they end up in that jail, and they all have a reason of why they're together.
Yeah, and not once in this movie was I wondering why something happened in the story.
Yeah,
Everything
I mean, unlike
lead to one
Suicide
thing.
Squad, like this is basically like the Marvel equivalent
Yeah.
of Suicide Squad.
Well,
That's
a
what I
little bit. I
think.
can see that. I can see that. Like have
But
these group
Suicide
of bad
Squad
people.
did it so bad
Yeah.
because they had too many characters, and
Yeah,
they didn't.
and-
They only focused on Harley and
Yeah,
Deathshot.
and they didn't really care
Studio-
about making these people likable or even like work together. But in
Yeah.
Guardians, the story happens directly because of the actions of characters.
Yep.
And everything that happens
They're
leads
all
to
in it
them
for
wanting to save the
themselves.
galaxy.
Yep.
And it's so like when you watch a movie and you don't question why something happened, that means the story was told to you in a good and concise way.
Yeah, like you're just here for a fun time, and then
Yeah.
if you get that feeling that they're trying to show you something that happened on screen, well, I can't really say. Yeah, I can't really word it. I thought I could word it. I couldn't really word it. It's just a great story.
Yeah, the story is fun.
I
And-
tried to
and
I
is
tried to
it-
word it intellectually, but I couldn't.
I think it's mostly just the way it's structured is what really makes it good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's tight. It's a tight structure.
Yeah,
It's
like,
not at all
Yeah, it's
confusing
tight,
all over the
simple,
place.
and
If
character
you watch
wise.
it from beginning to end, you're not gonna get confused. You don't
No.
even need to know about any of the Marvel characters to watch this movie, which I like.
No, you don't even know. But you don't really need to know about the villain either.
Because this movie, it's super standalone, but it also sets up so much.
Yeah,
Like so much.
so
stuff
many
set
different
up.
adventures and stuff.
So many different Marvel movies and characters. And like it really changes. Like if this movie flopped, Marvel realized, okay, comedy really not our thing. You know,
Yeah,
like,
but
I feel like this is what people
this movie
needed.
made more money than Winter Soldier anyway. So
Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of a good thing. They learned from Winter Soldier, and they want to see
Especially
what people
from a-
like.
especially from my August release, like Winter Soldier came out in April, and they had an August release date for this movie. So like people going back to school.
Of the
who-
same
who
year,
went
Winter
to go see
Soldier,
this
or was it
movie?
next year? The next
It was
year
the
after.
same year. It was the same
Jeez.
year.
And like they had to do that because Winter Soldier was good, but they needed to hold on to that feeling of people thinking it's good.
Yeah.
Like thinking everything was good, or else they
MCU
wouldn't be
hasn't.
excited.
We still have some more stuff coming. The MCU has not lost their way yet. But
Yeah,
we're just gonna
Yet.
give you this to
Yeah,
yet.
like,
So
I wanna
we're
say-
gonna give you this to keep you entertained, and people loved it.
yeah. You may have thought our older movies are bad, but that's okay. Just wait till you see what's next.
Yep.
And they just little drop this Guardians of the Galaxy. Such a good, just well told story.
Like honestly, I like to think of it like Marvel wasn't even sure of themselves when they
Yeah,
put out
they didn't
Guardians
know
of
what
the
direction
Galaxy.
they wanted to go.
They like even with Iron Man, they probably wasn't sure of themselves then. Well, they wasn't. But even with Guardians, man, I bet they wasn't sure of themselves.
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to do this in a way that's going to
Like, do people want
relate
to
to
see
audiences?
more seriousness, serious spy thrillers, grounded movies? And I feel like they took a leap of faith with this movie.
Yeah, they did take a leap of faith with that villain though,
Uh,
and it bombed in their
Yo.
face.
well, Ronan wasn't really bad in his villain arc.
Ronan sucked.
He
What is his plan here? What is his arc?
I think the acting for Ronan was good, but I think someone like the dumb silly parts, like the dance battle thing, I thought that was kind of dumb. That like someone
well then
would have
then the scene was right.
Controversy. I like that.
That's how the scene was supposed
Davis,
to be.
Davis, give me your plea. Give me your case.
my case on why I think it's dumb.
Yeah, controversy.
It's honestly just cringe.
Well, cringe. That's
You
relative
did say
to
a lot
you.
of stuff in this movie kind of cringe to you.
Yeah, I usually skip.
I'm sure
the
it wasn't
parts.
cringe, or you just didn't think it was funny.
I mean, I doubt many people thought it was funny.
Do you doubt many people thought it was funny?
Well, controversy.
Do you doubt
I
people
like
thought
it.
this was funny?
Oh my god,
People
I'm
are-
gonna get crucified.
Yeah, you are. So
People
I'm just-
love that scene, Davis. Yeah.
People
love
think
that
this
scene.
movie is one of the funniest movies.
Yeah, but we all know what's the funniest movie ever. We'll get to that
Deadpool.
later, David. What?
But Ronan, I'm pretty sure I said this while watching the movie. But, he's not a villain you're supposed to look into. Like, he's really not.
Yeah,
supposed
he's
to
a
be that serious.
generic bad
Yo,
guy.
Yeah, and he's
That
over the
acting was
top.
good though.
He's generic and over the top. He just wants to kill everything, and he doesn't
Yeah.
really have much of an arc. Because he's
I
really
feel
not
like,
in the movie that much.
They should have gave a backstory on what Xandar had done to make him mad. I feel like they should have done that.
Well, they
just to
kinda
add
did.
a little bit to it.
They kind of did. Yeah, even like his first scene, he was mad. He's angry. He's upset about the peace treaty between Xandar and the Kree.
Yeah, because the Kree are like
Yeah, they're like a
these,
race of
like
warriors.
this big authority. Exactly, they're this big authority. He wants honor for
Yeah,
his people. He doesn't want to stop the war. Like
yeah, and
that's what I get.
whenever Ronan is on scene, like he's kind of like so over the top. He's funny.
Yeah, if you think about it, he's just trying to get justice for his people.
Yeah,
I can see that because I know a lot of other states, apart from the U.S., really don't like other treaties either, and they want to honor their people with different stuff. So I get it.
but it's
But,
fun because
but then again, I hate the villain. I don't. like
every
him.
scene he's in, he's just like kind of screaming and just yelling.
Yeah.
And, like talking in this like really deep voice. I will cure it. It's really funny. Like he's not a
Yeah,
villain
like
that
when
you
he
can really take
smashed that-
seriously.
Like when he smashed that dude's head in, like that's crazy.
It's funny. That was his
I wonder
first
if he died. I wonder if the guy died.
scene. Yeah, you get a hammer, full force smash to his head. Probably a little concussion. Just walk it off.
Yeah.
Maybe right. But you say you don't like Ronan?
No, I don't.
Why?
Mainly because the movie wasn't about him, and yeah, I get it. A lot of superhero movies are not about the villain, but I feel like they should have incorporated just a little bit more of his character arc into the movie. Like if they just would have had just one little scene of him just talking to Nebula about his past or something like that, then I would have been fine.
Yeah, but I feel like
That he is just a generic bad guy, and he's
Yeah.
really not top tier Marvel.
Yeah, I can see that, but I really think he wasn't trying. They weren't trying to make him a big bad, like in the same way they would like make you, because you really, like as you said, you really don't know much about him.
Mm-mm.
But I feel like that was intentional, because you have this like space opera, because the movie's really supposed to be about the Guardians.
Yeah, it's about them sharing their pain, their
Yeah,
arcs and everything
them
like that.
bonding and coming
And
together.
I get it. I just hope that Ronan has a future in Captain Marvel too. If
No, I
he
believe
has
he
just a
will.
little bit something, yeah.
I believe
If he has
will.
just something good in Captain Marvel 2 to
Yeah.
do, then I would be
Because I
okay
feel
with
like if
his
they didn't
character
have
in
anything
Guardians.
else planned for him, they wouldn't have brought him back in Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
And maybe
because all he
maybe
did
that
was
will
just
have what
sit
you're
there
looking
in his
for.
ship. Like all he did was just sit there in his ship with his hammer and just look out the window and just make faces.
Yeah,
Like
maybe
he was squinting his eyes a couple times, and then he'll look back at his friend, and then turn back and then squint his eyes again, and then move his head. Just a lot of different stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? Get down there.
yeah, but Ronan, I don't think he was meant to be a serious villain. He's kind of meant to be a little goofy villain that you can make fun of. But I feel like in Captain Marvel 2, they will give that backstory that you are looking for.
Hopefully, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, me too.
We've already touched on the characters because the characters are basically the hero arcs, right?
Yeah, I guess. But their arc in this movie is pretty well.
Technically, yeah, we did it, but the
Their
arcs
arc in this
are
movie
here.
is really good.
Mhm.
Because they all have
Groot's.
their tiny arcs, and then there's the one big arc. Peter,
Which is all of them coming together.
Peter
and Peter.
Come out the blue. Some characters come out the blue, and then you slowly learn more about them,
like Drax
Rocket and Groot.
What?
And Drax.
Yeah, I don't really get that.
Drax too.
Doesn't really make sense to me. But
Which
like
one?
Peter,
Rocket and Groot.
Peter, he starts off like he's just a thief. He's there for the orb to sell it, and then by the end, he's their leader. He says, "Are we gonna do good? Or are we gonna do bad?"
Do you think this movie is more about Peter or more about the Guardians?
It's always about Peter.
Yeah.
Peter.
Peter's the main character. But they're all main characters too.
It's all about Peter, bro.
Yeah. This movie is just about him.
I feel like Peter is our everyman.
His mom would never leave him. Yeah.
I feel like Peter is our
It's just him learning his mom will never leave him.
Like Peter is the one that's supposed to tie us back into Earth. Like he's kind of like the main character, but not really.
Because the movie starts off with him.
Yeah, and it ends with him pretty much. But you get a nice little moment of him at the end, but it does kind of.
I get it now. The movie starts off with him as a kid alone, listening to his music. And then at the end of the movie, they show him with his cassette tape and this big boom box. And he's around all these different people, all these different outcasts, just like him.
He's with his friends. And they're all listening to the same. Yeah. And then Rocket and Groot, they're much like Peter. And that's where you see Peter and Rocket get along the quickest in the prison. Because Rocket and Groot they're just thieves. Like Peter.
And plus Peter saw those cybernetic enhancements in the back. So wow, this is actually a creature. This is not some dick. He's not actually a real dick. He was actually made to be like this.
It's just this person who's been through suffering like he has. And then you have Gamora. No, she starts off. She's Ronan's just assassin. She did.
And then we later find out that she's been tortured by Thanos, and she just has this dark past, this dark history, and we learn more about that throughout the Guardians and the Avengers movie.
Yeah, and the MCU. You learn more about Gamora, and then by the end, Gamora is with her friends. And in the beginning, she's kind of like a loner warrior. By the end, she's kind of neutral, she's kind of an anti-hero along with all the Guardians. And she goes from just wanting to get the stone for Ronan to wanting to save the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
The one who is the least arc is Drax, because
Drax has an arc.
Yeah,
he lost his family.
I don't think it's
he lost his family. He spent years trying to get revenge for his family, and in the process, he found a new one
earlier in the beginning. Yeah.
Who's your guys' favorite character with the best arc in your opinion?
Rocket.
Peter Quill. Star-Lord's always been Star-Lord's always been one of my top favorite
Groot,
Marvel characters ever since this movie.
Groot, just has the best character arc, his full backstory. He was born as a leaf, but we'll get into that later. No, but actually, for real, I probably think Peter probably has the best arc out of all of them.
I think Peter.
And the one who has the least is definitely Groot.
Oh yeah, because Groot's a tree.
Yeah, but it's still a character.
I'm sticking with Rocket. Star-Lord.
Yeah, I can see Rocket.
But
I can see Rocket. I can see Rocket. But I'm just saying Peter because Star-Lord and just performance that Chris Pratt made just made me really love Star-Lord.
Yeah, but I really love Rocket because they made jokes aside, they made a CGI animal cry.
Yeah.
And it made me cry in the process.
Yeah, it made you feel for him.
Like that's crazy.
Like, a lot of the time, it's hard to make you feel for a CGI character because a lot
Exactly,
of the time
but
they don't feel human.
even when Groot died, you felt something.
Yes, because you can see
And
throughout the
all he
movie.
says is, "I am Groot."
Yeah, throughout the movie, you can see them just bonding and learning about them and feeling sad for them. And then Rocket, he's been portraying himself as this big bad tough guy, and to see him just get drunk and break down, like, it's
That's
really emotional.
heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking.
It is. But, we did talk about the hero arc a lot. Just I think. What do you guys think about this third act, though? Like,
Davis hated it.
it's kind of hard.
Okay, so I may or may not have fallen asleep for like a minute.
You fell asleep during the third act. Oh yeah, I remember that. How do you fall asleep during Guardian?
I don't know, bro. I was just tired.
Probably stayed up too
The
long
third
playing
act
Siege.
Was, no, wrong. The third act was, I don't know. I guess it kind of just jumped out of nowhere.
No,
right
I
into a battle.
disagree heavily because this movie I kind of have a hard time placing where the third act begins because the movie just flows so naturally.
I
Like,
feel like
yeah,
the third act begins as soon as they get back to Xandar and there's
No.
the battle. I feel like that's when the third act starts.
I think the third act starts when they start talking about the 12% plan. That's what I think.
I think that's during the final battle. If I could say like where the third act ends, I would say it's when the collector's place gets blown up and they're talking about getting the orb back to Xandar.
Oh heck, nope. I don't agree with you. I'm sorry, Don. I don't agree with you.
Because you have this whole first act where they get in prison, and then I consider the prison escape its own act.
Yeah, so that's the first act, and then they're on their way to nowhere. And
yeah,
then
but the nowhere
they have
portion
that
doesn't
whole
take
sequence
that
in
much
nowhere.
time.
They have that whole sequence in nowhere. That's Act 2. When they're on that Ravager ship all the way to the final battle, that's Act 3.
I don't agree, but that's just me.
Okay.
But like that,
Okay.
I think it's a good thing that we have we can't agree on which is the third act because the movie flows so well. It does not follow the Marvel formula of heroes in the beginning fight something, heroes lose to bad guy, heroes win in the end.
Makes for good controversy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to rank this one kind of lower though, mainly because like they killed a lot of ships when they really didn't have to, and it kind of looks like a CGI hodgepodge. Though
the CGI is good.
It looks great. Yeah, the CGI is great.
But the Xandarian
it just looks like a CGI
Xandarian plan.
hodgepodge.
Just
dude.
using the ships as a shield. Like, what an ineffective plan.
And like I said before, I didn't like the villain. I like the dance off. The dance off is a perfect idea for this tone of a movie, but I just think that the villain just really wasn't all that.
No, I can see that. I can see how it's if you don't have a good villain, it's kind of hard to have a good third act. But me,
yeah,
I do enjoy the third act. I do enjoy the scene of them explaining the plan, and then you have this huge like Star Wars-esque space battle that makes its way to the ground, and then has one of the funniest endings, like funniest ways, or just funniest moments in general in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, and David said that it was cringy, dude. Like, why would you say that the dance off?
Like, honestly, just disrespectful, if you ask me.
I remember the first scene that he tells what's his name that his other name is Star-Lord. He doesn't recognize him. I thought that was cringe too.
You're like so like just wrong. Like just objectively wrong.
It was. I think the thing with that is like I think why he thinks it's cringy.
I just think the jokes didn't land.
For him. Yeah, probably probably to him the joke didn't land. To me, it landed because it's like nobody knows him. He thinks of himself as like this big outlaw, but
that's literally a running joke from the beginning of the movie, where like the same dude asked him.
I probably laughed because I was in like 4th grade, so I probably laughed when I watched it the first time, but not anymore. Just doesn't land.
Well, you're just like
all these jokes land for me still. Yeah. I mean, I may not laugh, but I still count them as funny.
I might not like break down in laughter, but I do chuckle. But Like I do like that scene where he tells him, we're pretty much like getting into our best moments here. So we'll just
Yeah.
talk.
I already got my best moment. Oh,
But,
best
David,
moment.
say your best moment. I'll let Davis go
Bro,
first.
it's when Peter grabs the Power Stone and they're all linking. That was fire.
What?
The CGI was god tier, and it
Oh.
was
I thought you were
emotional
asleep for that part.
Oh no, I was
Maybe.
awake.
Uh,
I was woke.
But I think a lot of the best moments for me are the funny parts. Like I do like that joke that's set up in the beginning where he says he's Star-Lord, and the guy says who?
who?
Because the movie starts off like
Star-Lord,
super
man.
seriously,
Legendary
he
outlaw.
just lost his mother, and then it's like an Indiana Jones temple section.
Yeah, like it's so hilarious. Like when he puts on the Walkman and then it's
Yeah.
like, and then
It's
like
just
big
funny.
title
You see
goes on,
just
like, okay,
him just goofing around, and then you're like, okay,
yeah,
this
it's
is that type of
you're
movie.
like, yeah, like
Then it
okay,
tries to
we
trick
just saw
you.
like his mother die, and
Yeah,
then
like what I
it's a
expected when I
comedy now.
remember when I first saw this movie, when he was like, "Who are you?" I was expecting him to say Star-Lord, and just start like gunslinging everyone. But no, he
That
says
was
his
cool.
name, and the dude says, "Who?" And then you can see his disappointment. He's like, "Come on, man."
Yeah, they even did it like when he got arrested. So,
Yeah, I think he called him Star Prince, or no, or maybe that
yeah,
was something Rocky called him.
No,
no,
that
he called
was
him Star
the
Prince.
that was
Denarian
the
Day.
John C. Yeah,
the
John C.
Yeah, his
Riley.
name was Day. And then in the end, you have that
That's his name.
payoff where the
Wreck-It
dude calls
Ralph.
him Star-Lord, and you can see him like he's not like I'm gonna kill you. He's like finally. And
Yeah.
that's just like Chris Pratt. Like Chris Pratt is just like I think he's just super funny in like whatever he's in. But if I
Let's
did place a
see.
definitive best moment, it's got to be that opening sequence.
Oh, with his mother dying.
No, not that one. That one's lame.
Nope, too late.
I
You
want
already
The
said
to
title
it.
know
cards.
why. I want to know why she cut her hair, dude. Like,
Oh, she did not cut her hair.
wild.
Dude, you're gonna get so many people mad just for you saying that.
All 20 people that watch this.
Yes.
But no,
Nah, but I did like that
think my
sequence
best
with "Come and
moment.
Get Your Love."
Yeah, I think my best moment has got to go to the 12% scene because
Oh,
in
where
that
they're
scene
coming
you
up with the
actually
plan?
see them. Yeah, because you actually see them like, okay, now they're turning into a family. Now
Yeah,
they're
but like when I say like
they're
what my
they're
best
getting
moment, I'm not
together.
saying like there's no other best moments. That's the one that I can just remember and be like, I really
Yeah,
like that one. But no, that scene you're
and
talking
I
about
think
now,
all the
that was really
comedy,
good.
all the comedy stuff is good. Everything with just every character is good. That whole prison sequence is great. That's
Yeah.
funny. The whole prison sequence is
Then
very
a
funny.
lot of like some best moments, like just some shots in this movie where it's just no words, it's just music and something cool
Beautiful.
on screen. Peter flying out in space.
Yeah, like
The
that's
scene
a
of the
great
Milano in
moment.
space, them entering nowhere. Like they make space beautiful.
Just fire.
Like it's not just some black void with a bunch of planets. No, it's just a lot of nice looking shots and music.
Like I wanted, like I wish I could have seen this in theaters. I would go to an MCU marathon though. I really would.
First you'd have to
But
sit through like first couple of movies. Kind of snore fest.
yeah,
Not all, some of them, most of them. 90%
yeah,
of
like
them.
First Avenger,
90. What?
like First Avenger and Iron Man 2. But
No,
yeah,
no, I don't think I heard you
so
correctly. What was that? You said Iron Man 3 and Dark World,
I
right?
said no, I said First Avenger and Iron Man 2.
Yeah, Iron Man 3 and Dark World. Sorry. So, this is like when you talk about Guardians, you have to talk about the soundtrack.
A lot of copyright music. I don't know how they're gonna get away with that, but yes.
Well, they're gonna get demonetized.
That music
Exactly.
is so good.
But
They chose the perfect songs for the perfect points.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's like kind of like a futuristic space movie, and they're using songs from like the 1980s and 70s.
Great stuff, man. I listen to them songs on repeat. I don't care who tells me
Yeah,
different.
the songs they use are just like
those songs are.
songs.
Sometimes they're even way better than the songs that are out now today. Like
Yeah,
I
like those
listen to
songs are
Ain't
just
No
like
Mountain High
classic,
enough.
Like, and it kind of keeps like both generations of people, like maybe older folks who see this movie like their kids, they'll recognize songs from their childhood.
Yep. Like Rubber Band Man, my mom knew that song in Infinity War. She was singing it in theaters.
Yeah, like a lot of these songs just like bring this movie together, and it would be really different if they just had a generic space opera, and I feel like that's kind of what went wrong with Thor.
Yeah, because Thor spent too much time on Earth. We didn't get
Yeah.
to see the cosmic elements to it. Like
Yeah.
it opened up the door for
Or
Guardians
not
of the
even,
Galaxy.
it didn't even have to be cosmic elements. We didn't even see enough fantasy elements. And this is Thor, the god of thunder. And we're
Yeah.
in London with scientists.
Yeah, a scientist running around with no underwear on.
Like this
This is
movie
weird.
does modern space movies good. It's futuristic, but it still has qualities of Earth.
Yeah, but like yeah, the soundtrack is good. All these old musics, but like the theme itself is top 10 for me.
Yeah.
Actually, it's number 10 on my list.
Just
it's,
the
it's number
Guardians
10.
main theme. Like I can't really like I never took time to sit down and rank the songs. But this one, I don't know why, I just like it's so like it's like kind of on par with the Avengers theme.
It starts off as the Avengers theme.
Yeah.
I know. I listened to it. It literally starts off with it. Yeah, this goes to
and
that.
like when you see it just in that prison scene when they open the door and it's all of them. Like
yeah,
this
like
theme,
I don't even know how did they schedule that? Because this whole movie was like improvised. Like how did they schedule that? Like that
dude,
one
movie?
pose?
Nah, dude. Documentary.
Yeah, documentary.
Crazy how that cameraman was there in space with them because this is a real
Yeah.
documentary.
I know that
I don't know
cameraman
how they did
died
that,
though.
dude.
Yeah, he probably went through a couple of cameramen.
Yeah.
A couple of cameramen. But the soundtrack in this movie is perfect.
It's just good.
I do think it's perfect
Awesome.
for this type of movie.
Yep, awesome. All right, so how does it fit inside of the MCU?
No, you want to go first then? I'll just let you go first.
Y'all can go first. I don't know.
No.
I
You
always
can go first.
go first. David, you can go first. I always go first
Nah.
anyway.
I think you can go first because I went first on best moments. So you go first.
All right, I'll go first.
No. Hold on.
No.
Let's not go
I want to
first.
go first.
Okay,
No,
you go
I'm
first.
just
No,
kidding.
no,
Jonathan. I'm
I
just
wanna
kidding,
go first.
Jonathan.
No,
you
all
go
right,
first.
seriously. Shut up. I'm going first. But no, I think I
Kick?
said before that this movie does
This
fit.
sellout.
It's like this movie is so standalone because you got to think where does it sit between? Sits between Winter Soldier and Age of Ultron.
No, it sits between Dark World and Winter Soldier. I think.
No, it's not.
No,
Are you
no,
good?
it's
Because it
not.
was Dark World, Winter
No.
Soldier, then this.
I know, but I was thinking about timeline wise.
No, I'm thinking of release, not timeline.
Oh,
timeline.
Yeah,
it's
this was
just between.
between two
And-
team up movies back to back.
Yeah,
Crazy.
but like you think this Guardians, like it's so standalone from the spy thriller that is Winter Soldier, and then would you
This
like,
goofy space opera. Like
yeah, and then like you have the Avengers, you have spy thriller on one side, Avengers on the other side. Then you just have this weird, goofy, random space movie, prison break heist. Not really.
that everyone's seen.
Yeah, everyone
That's
saw
nice.
this movie. And then, it does, it being a standalone, it also managed to set up so much.
Yeah, like
so much.
It has the wit, of Iron Man. It has like the heart of Spider-Man: Homecoming. It has like the drama of Winter Soldier and Civil War. It just has all types of different elements, but keeps that tone consistent.
Yeah,
throughout.
it keeps the tone consistent, and manages to set up like the next bunch of movies where it starts to get serious. And even in the sequel, it still maintains that like goofy, funny attitude.
Even though I don't like the sequel as much as I wish I did.
But, I think this movie, does fit into the MCU. All right, now, sir, you go.
I just said it.
All right.
It keeps that tone consistent.
Yeah. I'm
but
just messing with you.
dang it, I'm trying to think of something else. But yeah, I can't think of anything else. I thought I knew.
Davis?
I mean, I thought it was a good addition, and I thought it fit pretty well when it all came together in Endgame. But it's really hard to not compare it to Volume 2.
Yeah,
That's all.
kinda. Cause I mean, they both happen back
guess.
to back.
Yeah,
They both happen back
but-
to back. But
honestly,
that's-
I'm kind of saying that Volume 1's better.
I don't
it
know.
is.
I haven't seen both of those movies in a while. No, I don't know.
We should watch Guardians 2 before we could actually like give a clear statement. But I already know, in my opinion, Guardians 1.
And opinions change. Opinions change. You may say that now, and may not say
exactly,
that in a few weeks from now. But no, we've been talking about this and long. We got to talk about our man, Stan Lee.
This
But
Stanley was fire.
Did you guys know that his cameo was different? Like
What do you mean?
his cameo was supposed to be, he was supposed to be in the Collectors, vault, and like he was supposed to be like in a bin, and then like when Star Lord walked past him, he was supposed to like put up the middle finger to Star Lord. But they said they couldn't do that because Stan Lee was a real person inside of the universe, and the only reason why Star Lord could do it was because he was playing a fictional character.
But that
was
wasn't funny.
weird.
But I am
Yeah.
happy with the Stan Lee cameo we got. I thought it was pretty funny.
The grade A prevert.
Yeah.
Nah, well, if
Like,
we're
yeah, it
going
is kind of
back,
like
I mean,
it's kind of
if-
Rocket's making fun of Stan Lee. And, that's kind
Disrespecting
of
Stan Lee.
yeah,
Cover,
like
but
that's
it's
what I was about
funny.
to say. I'm like, if you're going back, you did say that you kind of didn't like the Stan Lee cameo because they treated Stan
kind
Lee
of yeah.
bad.
My opinion changed.
Quotations.
Opinions can change, and
I
it all
guess.
depends on the day you're feeling. I thought it was pretty funny. It is
Yeah.
making fun of Stan Lee. Never cool, but it kind of managed to work for the character that Rocket is.
Yeah, that grade A
in this type of
prevert
movie.
was funny.
Yeah.
When I saw it first, like when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh yeah, this
Stan,
movie
he
is
didn't say
hilarious."
anything, so that's a little disappointing. But
Yeah,
I don't think he
and I
didn't
mean,
need
I'm
to.
just fine with him with a no speaking cameo. Like I know that he's there, so I'm straight.
Yeah, and they kind of held it for a lot longer, so you're like, hey, that's Stan Lee.
Yeah.
This one did pretty good. I'm happy with the Stan Lee cameo.
It was good. It was good.
I should rank the Stan Lee cameos. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do all Marvel ones, like every Marvel movie. Yeah. There's like 39 of them.
I did not.
There's 2.
Like, what was the second one? 2 of them. What were they?
The first one was the Groot, and the second one was the Collectors.
Oh yeah. I don't really like these post-credit scenes.
Honestly,
You didn't.
Mm-mm.
I like the Groot one just because. Right after it came out, I got a toy which was like you press a button on it and it was a dancing Groot. That's
I like
one
the
of my
Groot
favorites.
I remember
more,
dancing
but
Groots
more
when they first came
because
out.
no, I like the subtext of it. After watching
Yeah, because
Guardians
it's like
2.
him growing. Yeah, it's like him growing.
No,
and stuff,
no,
and
it's not like
dancing.
that. It's because you guys remember in Guardians 2 how he was talking about his wife Drax's wife would never dance.
Oh,
Like, remember that line where it's like she would then be in a crowd full of people and she would not move a muscle.
oh.
And I think
I thought you
maybe
was
that's
talking
like
about
paying
Groot
homage to
dancing,
it.
like-
But I don't know. It's kind of just like random post-credit scenes. And then the second one.
Nah,
with
the Groot
Cosmo.
one. The Groot one has significance, and I don't think the second one has significance. They just wanted to show Howard the Duck. which
Yeah,
I'm
Howard the
all
Duck.
for it.
It's
Howard
not
the
really
Duck.
funny.
Maybe.
I mess with Howard the Duck though. Like in this MCU, like I'm fine with him just being like a little tease. He doesn't have to have a movie.
I do like Cosmo the space dog though. We need a Cosmo space dog movie.
Get off Cosmos too. Yeah, I don't want a Cosmo movie.
Cosmo space dog 4-hour in-game movie.
What if they put him in Eternals? Like, what if he's in Eternals? Do you think that would work?
No.
No.
Well, I don't know much about
No.
Eternal, so maybe yeah, maybe not.
Yeah,
I
I'm
want
ready.
Eternals to be like something we've never seen before.
Yeah, like I don't want it to be like Thor Ragnarok and Guardians because Ragnarok was basically like a copy and paste of Guardians, but it
In a
had
good
a little
way.
bit
I feel
more.
in a good
Yeah,
way.
it had Taika's flair to it a little bit with the colors and everything. Guardians 1 really doesn't have that much color, and
Only in like daytime.
I feel like it's very dark. I feel like it's a very dark movie.
Yeah, I
And
guess.
what I mean by that is that it doesn't have a lot of sun in it. It's mostly in the dark.
But they make the dark look good.
Yeah,
Like, as you
they
said.
make
in
the city
movie.
bright and everything. Like I love seeing stuff like that, especially on the big screen. Like that's good.
Yeah, but about the post-credit scenes, they kind of just like there to make the audience, like the people who sit through it, just kind of laugh.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool. That's nice.
Groot
Yo, what's
dancing,
going on with
funny,
Age of Ultron though?
Sell some toys. Yeah, and like it was
Yeah.
kind of weird because after Count America, people are probably wondering, what's happening next. No, at that time they'd be expecting another Avengers movie probably.
Yeah. I just love the fact that they really don't have like a color filter over this movie and make it look like a real film. I'm just glad that they kind of kept James Gunn's vision and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
made
Looks
it a
better
great
this way.
movie. It
Looks
looks
better the way it is.
good.
Yeah, but all right.
I hate the fact that they add over that filter in their movies later down the line because it looks so dull.
But
Civil War.
nah, I don't agree. Maybe your opinion will change. Hopefully.
No, Civil War.
Shut up.
But like, what's one thing that you would change?
Yeah, that's what I was
and one
gonna
thing
say.
that you would.
That's a
that you
section
would,
we're gonna have in our
put in.
podcast from now on. Something I would change about this movie. I think the I feel like there should have been a lot more like kind of like Western style gunslinging with Star-Lord. Like that's like such like a nitpicky thing. I kind of like that in the beginning of the movie, where he's just like kind of like gun kata everyone, like gun karate. No, I just that's all I want. Just some more action scenes with Star-Lord and his guns. But overall, this movie is pretty good, and there's not much I would change about it.
You, Davis?
I'm not sure if I would change anything. Let's see.
Anything you would add in?
Just some more arc to the villain, because the villain was just kind of boring.
Yeah, me too. I would add in.
He felt more like a minion instead of an actual villain.
Yeah,
That's kinda what it
basically.
was.
But like, I would add in more of the villain arc, and I would add in just a flashback scene of like Drax and his family or something like that. Maybe just a little bit something. I mean, I love the fact that it's a mystery. We really don't need to see it, but I kind of wish I could have saw just a little bit of flashback of just him like in prison.
Like just some more backstory on like the characters who weren't introduced like in the beginning.
Yeah, let him shed a tear or something like that, or don't. You don't have to have him shed a tear. Just have him just move on with his life to be with the Guardians.
What they did in Volume 2 with him. And Mantis.
He didn't shed a tear, but you know that he's feeling sadness.
Yeah.
And a thing that I would change, well, yeah, those are things that I would add in. And the things that I would change,
That's not much.
I'd probably take out the cameo of Thanos. I really want to see. I would rather see a cameo of Thanos in the Avengers movies before we see a full-fledged face Thanos talking.
But I feel like the Ronin they had kind of wouldn't is like built upon
because
Thanos.
Ronin is like connected to the other, and the other is
I
connected to
feel
Thanos.
like they did that to more remind you that this is an MCU movie. They're in the same universe.
Yeah,
No,
like
I
they
think
slapped
they
the
just
name
did
Marvel
that
on there
to show that Ronin's just like a lackey of Thanos. Like that's my take on it.
But that's the thing I would change. I would just take out Thanos. Just have him like speaking, but you can't really see his face. Like you can have him speaking because his voice is very intimidating.
Intimidating.
What you call it? Yeah, intimidating. My bad. And then just have him like blur his face so you can't really see his face.
Yeah. And still,
then
it was
come
pretty
Avengers:
early on
Age of Ultron. Yeah.
to start hammering in Thanos.
So it was very weird why they did that, but that's all I would change and what I would add.
Final thoughts?
Yeah. Just a great summer blockbuster. What's the tier list? Wait, we gotta do the tier ranking.
That's what I was about to say. Tier ranking. I think this movie.
You want to go first? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. I think. A or B? A or B? I think I'm gonna go with A. B.
A.
A. Yeah, I'm gonna give it A. I'm gonna be generous.
You putting it in B, Davis?
B.
I'm right along with you. I'm putting it in B also. Mainly because the villain is not really that good.
I'm feeling good today, so I'm gonna give it a B.
I'm kidding. I'm putting it in S. It's amazing. This movie is I'm putting it in S.
Wow.
It's S tier. It's S tier. I'm putting it in S.
Dang.
I usually would have this lower because
Is this your first S tier? Or no, you put
No.
This is your second one
Winter
in a row.
Soldier. Yeah, no, this is my third one. Winter Soldier and Avengers was an S.
No, dude, how can it be your third one in a row if Dark World was before?
Oh
Winter
no,
Soldier?
no. Yeah, this is my second one in a row. My bad, but yeah, this is my second.
I can't
Yeah,
wait
you won't
for
see
Civil War.
You won't see many S's. You won't see many S's in the future though.
I doubt that. No, hopefully that will change. But
Endgame.
Yeah, hopefully.
all right, what's coming next week? Episode 11. Age of Ultron. Ultron, our second big team up movie. No, Age of Ultron. I'm excited for Age of Ultron. I love that movie.
Love that movie. I don't know why that movie gets a bad rap.
Yeah, I want to touch on
so
that when we
good.
watch it.
It's so good.
I don't get why people say that movie's bad. It's pretty
But
good.
I've been holding off on that
ready for
Spider-Man
more
thing for
Marvel.
Civil War. Like Davis, I remember when you brought up that Spider-Man thing for Civil War. I can't wait to touch on that. That's gonna be a great discussion.
Civil War's easy S tier already. Go ahead and rank it.
Well, opinions change, dude.
All right, well,
Opinions don't change.
this has been the regular podcast, episode 10. Don't forget to check out, Sterling's channel, which will be in the description, in the comments.
Yes, sir.
What's your next
206.
video? If you
At
like
the
a
time
bunch
of
of
recording.
Arrowverse video, and he just got 200 subs, so go congratulate him. But come back next week for Avengers Age of Ultron. And yeah, that's it.